2 weeks away from my first race of the season, the Sook Hills 50 kilometer trail run, and today is my last long run in preparation to cap off this training block. And today I want to share with you the 5 ingredients of this long run that I think is important to try and incorporate in your long runs to get the most out of them. So today I'm doing 34 to 35 kilometers, and I plan to get about 1,400 meters of elevation gain, and I would like to take you along on this journey. Sunrise! It's 6 o'clock and the sun is rising over Saanich Inlet. So the first important thing with long runs, number one, it has to be long enough. Sounds kind of silly, but all the physiological benefits that you get comes out of that fatigue and muscle soreness that you only get after a long run. So the whole point of a long run is to put you at that stage where physiologically you're starting to struggle. Fatigue, muscle soreness, maybe some hydration issues. These long runs increase the capillary blood flow and the capillary development in your larger muscles, which then improves your oxygen supply and nutrient supply to those hard-working muscles. So you have to push yourself into that zone. And then some of the other big benefits of these long runs is it helps with mental fatigue, fatigue resistance. How are you gonna improve your fatigue resistance if you don't push yourself into a zone of real fatigue in these long runs? And doing these long runs, if they are long enough, also gives you the confidence to tackle what you're actually preparing for. And there's also good evidence that shows that these long runs improve your cardiovascular ability and efficiency. So just your heart's ability to continue to pump and deliver blood when everything is getting tired and fatigued can only be practiced if you're running long enough. So if you do your long runs and you don't feel fatigue and you don't feel some muscle soreness, you need to go longer. I'm now exactly 10 kilometers into my long run. It's been a steady climb here, mostly the first 10k, which kind of simulates the start of the Sook Hills 50k, so that's perfect. So 10 kilometers, 1 hour 32 minutes, and there you can see the total elevation gain 632 and 406 meters of loss. And the average pace 9 minutes 17 seconds. Point number 2: hydration, calories and electrolytes. On race day, if you're doing a long ultra, those 3 things are paramount. You can't get your calories right, you can't get your hydration right, it's all gonna fall apart. So this is where you really want to fine-tune things. So for today and for my race, I'm going to mainly use gels. You know, the race I plan to do it in 7 hours. So I don't need much else than gels, water, and I'll carry a few electrolyte pills for towards the end of the run. So I'm just coming up to a stream where I need to resupply. For my water intake, I am doing about 1 liter per hour, which I've calculated over time with my sweat rate and temperature predictions and things like that. So it's going to be at least an hour and 40 minutes to the next stream. So I'm filling up 2 flasks, and I also drank a full flask here. Filter. Okay, let's go. So yeah, for my fluid intake I take water about 1 liter per hour, and I try and do that as consistent as possible, not to take a large amount at one time. But yeah, that can be sometimes tricky. And then for calories, that's something everyone has to figure out for themselves. But for me, I try and do about 3 joules an hour, which gives me the 300 calories per hour, and then I'll snack at aid stations if needed. I just love these little goo gels. Gives me all the energy I need. An easy solution for calories, hydration and electrolytes is the Tailwind mix that I'm sure most of you are familiar with. It's a powder that you mix with water, and it provides 200 calories per serving. And then if you mix that with your flask, 600 ml of water, and you do 2 flasks an hour, you get your water, your calories, and then they have all the essential electrolytes as well. Can't remember all the exact amounts, but I think you get like 480 milligrams of sodium per serving. So I've tried that in the past, but I find just doing the water and gels and electrolyte tablets, it provides me a bit more flexibility depending on the heat of the day and what you might need calories wise. So something that long runs are made for. Fine-tune your intake, and don't try anything new on race day. It's always a disaster. Okay, bonus tip: do your long runs on beautiful terrain. It makes it so much easier. Lakes, mountains, rivers, forest beats that old treadmill every time. I'm 15.5 kilometers into this long run, and I'm just going up the steepest climb of the day here. It's about a 27% grade, and I've been running for 2 hours and 24 minutes, and this is where the fatigue sets in. You know, the muscles are sore, and you love it because that's what you want, right? That brings me to the third point. Make your long runs race specific. If you plan to do a summer 100-miler in the mountain somewhere, you need to get some long runs in with heat, elevation gain, some technical stuff. It just gives you the confidence, and it just gives you the best chance of success. I've done a few ultras from the prairies where I needed my treadmill and my garage to get some heat and get some elevation gain, which is not always the ideal thing, but you do what you have to do. So I probably have another 200 meters of climbing here before I reach the plateau, and then do some downhills. So number 3, get your long runs race specific. I know it can be hard depending on where you live, but it can make a huge difference just in preparing you to hit that race out of the park. There's some real technical terrain that will come in handy next Saturday. Okay, I'm exactly 1,000 meters of elevation gain and just under 16 kilometers. So should be close to the top here. And then the second half of this run will have a lot more runnable sections and downhills. And this is very race specific for me. The run I'm doing in 2 weeks is going to provide very similar terrain and similar elevations. So Box ticked. So for this run I've carefully marked out all the lakes and streams where I can fill up with water. The fourth thing that's very important on long runs is pacing strategies. To try and figure out what pace might look like. Sometimes you look at a race and you think, okay, I can do this in 7 or 8 hours or 16 hours or whatever it is. And then doing a long run like this, you can quickly see how realistic you are, and it also teaches you to just take what the trail gives you and respect the trail. Some stuff just can't be run fast, and it needs to be hiked and it needs to take slow. So many races have ended in disaster due to poor pacing strategies, especially in the first half of a race. So yeah, doing a long run and looking at your pace, see what you can actually do on a steep climb, can be very valuable when it comes to race day. So yeah, that's the fourth thing, pacing strategies. I'm aiming for 7 hours next week, so that would be 8 minutes 20 seconds per kilometer, plus minus. So yeah, today is interesting just to see where I sit, you know, because today's run is very similar to what next week will look like. Oh, we're halfway there. Okay, cut it out. Point number 5 is gear. You need to test out your gear on these long runs. And especially if you plan for a race, have everything that you will need or carry through the race in your long runs. So for today, for instance, I have my 2 flasks. I have 10 gels to last me through the 5 hours. And I have my GoPro camera, which I've done shorter runs on, but planning to carry it with me in the 50k. I need to practice it. And then my cell phone. So don't take any untested gear on a race. These long runs are meant for testing your gear. Make sure you understand how things work. And also try and move lightly, so see what you can and cannot go without. Whenever you do these long runs, and it's really the same in races, whenever you feel that fatigue and you feel that muscle soreness, it should bring a smile to your face, because that's why we do this shit, man. There's no way you can enjoy this unless we embrace some of the suffering. Because it's fun, isn't it? Woohoo! Okay guys, that's a wrap. 35 kilometers at a pace of about 8 minutes and 15 seconds per kilometer. I'll post all the data here at the end of the video for the data freaks. And this race ticked all the boxes. The 5 points we've discussed through this run, every single one. And none of them are really more important than the other. I think it's important to look at everything. But got my 8 flasks of water in through the run, 10 gels, and carrying all my gear went well. I was a bit nervous running with a GoPro, how that will go. And I feel pretty prepared for next Saturday, the 50k. and I'll post a video on that as well. So thanks for watching and peace out.